You know, it's great to be in a room of young people. When I was elected 3 years ago, I came to Congress at 27. The average age in the House was 59. The average age in the Senate, I think, is death. So, if you're in your 40s and your 50s and you're feeling a little old, come out to Capitol Hill and do some lobbying. You know, as was said in my introduction, I've been a lifelong supporter of the arts. And I think too often when people come to Congress, they forget how they got there, and they forget who they are. And I have assured my constituents that I will not, and I've asked them to hold me accountable. And that's, I think, why all of you are here today. I will tell you, in my short term in Congress, there's no shortage of high-powered lobbyists. But there is nobody more effective who comes into any members of Congress's office to lobby than a voting member of their constituency. And so I want to start today by saying thank you for taking time out of your schedules, for taking the time and the resources necessary to fly out to Washington, D.C. and walk into your member of Congress and talk to them about how important this issue is. Because I will tell you that those who are on the opposite side of this issue are well organized and well funded. And as was mentioned earlier, the beauty of Congress is of the diversity. Unfortunately, there aren't many people that are very young, but we come from different backgrounds. White, black, men, female, different races, different portions of the country. And so what I'd ask you to do to be effective is to learn about your member of Congress and figure out what issues make them tick. Because the beauty of arts education and the funding, the public funding of arts, is that it should make sense for everybody. Whether they're a Republican or a Democrat, whether they're a bleeding heart or an ultra-conservative, whether they're for a safety net or pro-business, I don't care what your issue is, there's not one reason why you shouldn't be able to support funding for the arts. Because when it comes to business, the number one thing they want is a creative mind. More important than an ACT or a GPA, it's somebody with critical thinking, and science has proven there is nothing more important to critical thinking than the development of arts and creative minds in early education. So, I'm not going to preach to the choir here today. You all get it. You're here. I'm one of the team. But, you know, as soon as you think something's not going to happen in Washington, D.C., it will. And so we have to remain vigilant. We have to remain engaged. And we have to educate people about why it makes sense. As was mentioned, I come from Abraham Lincoln's district, the seat he held when he was in Congress. And even Abraham Lincoln, when he was going through the Civil War, if you come to my district in Springfield, Illinois, and you go to the Lincoln Presidential Museum, you'll learn one of the things that he did when asked, how do you deal with the stress, how do you deal with the great bouts of depression that he went through, it was often through music. And he has a history of inviting people into the White House to play for him and Mrs. Lincoln to get him through some of the darkest hours as President of the United States. So whether you're a kid in school, whether you're the President of the United States, or you're a member of Congress, arts education and the funding of arts is extremely important. We are proud in Peoria to be the home of the vaudeville plays. All of you, I'm sure, have heard of the now famous line, "Will it play in Peoria?" Well, that didn't start with Procter & Gamble and all the test markets. It started with vaudeville plays. And if it could play in Peoria and survive in the Peoria market, they'd take it nationally. So Peoria has a deep history in arts. We were proud to have Rocco Landsman visit our community last year, and we've met, and he's agreed to come back, and I'm looking forward to playing a part in hosting him there. There you are, Rocco. And so count me as a member of your troops in anything that I can do to help educate my side of the aisle and also new members of Congress who are coming to town. As I've joked with my colleagues, I'm not sure we can get any older in Congress, and so that's a good thing, because I think many of the young people coming through our public school system today understand the importance of arts education. Unfortunately, however, because of the mandates by the federal government and the state government and the consummate focus on testing, which is important, but oftentimes we lose sight of the importance for arts funding and arts education. And so this lobbying effort must be not only at the federal level and the state level, but it also must have a component of our local boards of education as well. So I look forward to continuing to remain in the fight with you, and I sincerely just want to say thank you for being here today and spending your time advocating for such an important endeavor. Thank you.